Welcome to another episode of the Goon Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. Today we're going to be discussing boxing. We're going to talk about Canelo Alverez and Can Saunders, and we're going to talk about the hottest and biggest boxing news, which kind of sad that it's not this particular fight that's going on today, but it's the Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul tussle slash fight, whatever you want to call it. But this week was the announcement, or last week was the announcement of the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather fight, which was canceled and now has been put back on to happen on June 6th. Well, this week was the press conference. And at the press conference, Logan Paul's brother, Jake, decides to get in Mayweather's face to advocate, possibly for a good payday and fight and be next after his brother. And in the process of, talking cash money, sugar, honey, iced tea, he takes and snatches Floyd Mayweather's hat off his head, and all hell breaks loose. Yeah. So he takes the hat and he decides that he's going to, I guess he wanted to try to make a funny. He thought this was going to be hilarious and people would get a kick out of it. Well, Floyd wasn't playing that shit. And Floyd threatened to kill him. He whoever it was, I don't know if it was Floyd or one of Floyd's many bodyguards that was there, which probably doesn't make this a good idea, Jake, to take the man hat when he has not only him, but several big people that's guarding him. One of the people, or one of the persons, Floyd or the bodyguards, gave Jake a black eye. And I don't know if, what I'm hearing and what I've read is that Jake has been banned from the event. But if I was Floyd, I wouldn't even fight you now. If I were Floyd, I wouldn't give you the time of day anymore because you was blatantly disrespectful. Floyd has never done anything to you, or Logan, for that matter. It's an exhibition. And instead of you just getting in his face, talk a little trash, it happens, be entertaining, ask for a fight, demand a fight, put your hand in his face, but don't touch him. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather, 50-0, has been boxing since the age of probably 2. And you gonna touch him? And it ain't sanctioned? Man, Floyd would have literally killed him. If Floyd could, when Jake snatches Floyd's hat off his head, and everybody just backs up and let Floyd, who was disrespected in this particular case, bum rush Jake, man, he probably beats the living what out of Jake. He probably he would beat the brakes off of Jake Paul, which he's going to do to Logan, by the way. He's going to actually, if I were Floyd, I would just take all my frustration out on Logan. Logan didn't have a snowball's chance in hell to win anyway. But this, I would actually just come out and just beat him. I would beat him like Ali did. I forget the boxer he boxed. But the man wouldn't call Ali Muhammad Ali after he changed his name. He would just refer to him as Cassius Clay. And Muhammad, historically, the story, Muhammad was punching him and asking him, "What's my name?" While he's just beating the shit out of him. "What's my name? What's my name?" After he just beats him, punches him, hits him all upside the head. That's what basically I would do to Logan. I would take all my frustration out on Logan, and then I fight Jake. I mean, what have I got to prove, right? That I beat a YouTuber? Like, it's, first of all, the fight is kind of I understand it's a money grab, it's an exhibition or whatever, but Floyd's gonna win. And now that Jake has tried to embarrass him at a press conference and actually paid for it, then Jake goes and gets a tattoo that says "Got your hat" and puts on his little website selling dad hats now with the phrase "Got your hat." I'm more than sure he's trademarked it. If he hasn't, I'm sure he has by now. But yeah, if I'm Floyd, I don't fight him. I don't even waste my time. I just beat his brother up and then tell him kick rocks. Not that he necessarily needs Floyd either, because he did 1.4 million pay-per-view buys fighting a washed-up Ben Askren. So Lord knows what potential he actually has, to keep selling fights. But it just wouldn't be with Floyd. Or then again, if Floyd sits down and think about it, being that the kid has sold 1.4 million views on pay-per-view with a fight, he might take the money. It's easy win, right? It's easy money. He might, but yeah. So now we move on to Canelo Alverez and Billy Joe Saunders. In my opinion, this fight is going to be a classic match of what styles make the fight, right? We got Saul Canelo Alvarez, who comes out and pressures his fighters, hits him to the body, he's strong, has great knockout power in both hands, and is somebody that is on a mission as far as in the boxing division to unify a title. Now, at the same token, you have Billy Joe Saunders, whose style is he's a boxer. He's a boxer puncher. He likes to move with his legs. He doesn't have great knockout power. He only has 14 knockouts in his career, and but he's undefeated. He's 30-0. Saul's only loss came to Floyd Mayweather, and he's fought a draw with Gennady Golovkin. So, in my opinion, Canelo is this is Canelo's win all day. How he wins is the question. So, for Canelo to get a victory tonight, all he has to do is just be him. Come out, establish his dominance, cut off the ring, because Saunders will move. Cut off the ring, go to the body, and break Saunders down. Once he breaks Saunders down, then he can go up to the head and just go ahead and get him up out of there. It's going to be after the 8th round, though. I see Canelo winning by stoppage tonight. Just say that. I see it as a stoppage after the 8th round. Because I think his pressure is going to just be too much for Saunders to handle. Saunders I think his pressure is just going to be too much for Saunders to handle. Saunders has never really been in these particular type fights where it's the lights are big. This week he was trying to threaten to get out the fight because he didn't agree with the ring size. What? You gonna turn down your biggest payday because you think the ring too small? That just screams to me that you don't necessarily want to be there. But I know maybe it's gamesmanship from his point of view because the fight is still going on, right? He didn't pull out. So I see Canelo winning by stoppage, but I'll give you the pros and cons of Billy Joe Saunders as well. The way Saunders can win this fight is to, one, stick and move. Stick and move, put rounds together that you win. Kind of like Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko did. Put those rounds in the bank. And you have to take it out of the judge's hand, because if you are allowing Canelo to make it a close fight, or you're not necessarily moving like you're supposed to, you don't keep the fight in the center of the ring, you don't tie up Canelo when he comes in and pressures you and turn him and make the ref get in there and holler break, or you don't engage when it's only smart and you just running there wild child and you're letting Canelo get off, then yes, you are going to lose. And it's probably going to be stopped. Because like I said, Canelo has all the knockout power. Saunders, not as much. You have to get in there and start fast. Start fast and move, and Saunders can win the fight. If he doesn't, he loses, and he loses bad. I mean, this fight here can be a great fight. It's like I said, it's the matchup of the styles. We got one that's going to come forward. We got one that's going to move and be defensive and hit and not try to not get hit, which is the sweet science. I appreciate it all. I don't want to just see two fighters come in there. Honestly, I'm not that type of boxing fan that see two people come in there and just stick themselves in the middle of the ring and just slug it out. If I want to see that, I'll go see I'll watch UFC. I don't necessarily want to see that when I watch boxing, but Canelo has a lot riding on this fight. If Canelo comes out and he's able to get this victory, then Caleb Plant is next in September for Mexican independence. That right there is going to be your violent fight, because I don't see Caleb trying to necessarily move too much. He just wants to throw hands, and I'm here for it. But like I said, I appreciate when defensive fighters get in the ring. That's why I'm such a fan of Mayweather. A lot of people say Mayweather was boring or whatever. He's not, in my opinion. There's some beauty to defensive fighters. Sweet Pea is another one. I love Sweet Pea Whitaker. Defensive fighter. I love it. I'm here for it. But tonight is going to be called, Canelo's night. Tonight is Canelo's night, and the way that he does it, I think it's a stoppage and probably round 9. And it's due to his pressure, the accumulation of punches that are going to come from him, and the body punches is just going to be too much. I think he cuts off the ring, and Saunders is going to be fast. He's going to move, but he's not going to move enough. And that's how it's going to be. So I'd like to thank y'all for coming and watching another episode of the Goontelligent Sports Podcast Show. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you shared your time with me, and I appreciate that. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps with the algorithm with getting the YouTube videos out. I'm here for y'all. I'm going to make these type of videos. I just don't do football. I will be talking about basketball with the playoffs coming up. I will be talking about more boxing matches, and of course, I'm going to discuss the New Orleans Saints in the NFL. So stay tuned to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when I post the videos. And I'm signing out. Thank you.